Hey guys, welcome back to the Diablo 3 playthrough here, Trippy Commentaries. We have to talk to Leah. Unfortunately, Deckard Cain has died, so we have to go on without him.
I'm sorry to say this, to make fun of her, but she doesn't seem too upset. She just watched her uncle die, and she's not sobbing or anything.
Right. And her uncle is Cain, and her mother
Angel
is Adria.
We
Does
must
that make them
find
brother
him
sisters?
and restore
Or is it
his
just
memory.
like a non-blood
My
uncle
power
kind of relationship?
Sown to Maghda's
We're
mind.
getting deep
going
here.
too deep.
We're going deep.
All I know is Leah's got some pretty interesting genes.
Who's the damn
in
baby
her.
daddy? Call Maury.
I do not fear her.
I don't think they had DNA tests back then.
You are not the father.
You are the father.
Looks like we're heading back to Wortham here. I guess we have to fight our way back through this chapel and head out this way. Mike, how you liking the Witch Doctor? I know you're pretty much playing on the fly as the Witch Doctor. You're well versed with the Barbarian. You have a pretty high level Barbarian. How has Baron Semity been so far?
Pretty good. I like how he's growing at each level. Now I've got multiple shots with my A button.
Oh, I love that. When he upgraded that was a big deal for
Kind of
me.
like rapid
That's
fire.
big.
Yeah.
I'm at level 8,
Contra
about to be
S.
level 9. So, and also my right trigger attack is upgraded as well.
Yeah. Are you still using the bats? What are
And
you
my
using
axe.
for that?
Need spirit.
I'm actually using the first one you get.
Let's go over
is
here.
upgraded.
Look down at the hole.
Okay, the
real
hands
fast.
of the
Yes,
death.
but
Yes.
it's now
Wow,
like
look at
a,
that.
I think it's a slow trap.
Quite gaping.
Looks like the meteor might have hit that, perhaps.
Usually there's a vendor right there where we just passed. Where am I going?
Interesting. I remember this part quite well. This is a big insect section. We'll be facing off against a lot of arachnids and whatnot. Now, one thing I got to get used to in my playthrough, where I haven't played too much of the monk here, is how you have to use the A button for this Xbox One controller. The normal attack, it's basically your attack that doesn't take any mana. You can use it as many times as you want. But for me, using that attack fills up the special attack quite rapidly. So I got to remember to do that so I can use this special attack, which is very powerful. A lot of spiders in here. This is definitely a memorable section of Act 1 for me. Something about it, we're definitely going to be hunting down some new bosses to vanquish here.
Very, I feel like it's very Lord of the Rings-esque.
Yeah.
Return of the King.
That's one thing I love so much about this game is all these really classic tropes they got going on here. And some of this stuff,
I have passed away.
oh no, the Demon
I
Hunter.
was running in circles.
That's the tough part about the Demon Hunter. He's extremely offensive, but here, let's go player 4 there. He's extremely offensive, but if you get surrounded, things can get ugly. I've noticed that with my Demon Hunter character, Maghda, who I named after the Chrono Trigger character, of course.
Oh, there's a ghost of you.
Alright, and
Yeah.
continuing on, we
At
have a
times I
chest.
feel like we can kind of, if you gotta take a break, check your phone, phone gaze or whatever, you can kind of sit back and let the others take control because it's just not difficult enough right now. But then RJ and I stepped it up to the next difficulty, and you just feel like you're just button mashing, and
Yeah.
there's just too many guys, and it just takes too long, and it kind of takes you out of the excitement of going through the
Takes you out of the
story.
mood, does it?
Yeah.
It does.
I'm liking it. See, I don't really have a problem with ass kicking, especially so many enemies that are on screen.
Right. Well, it's
That,
funny because
it's
you
kinda funny.
were saying that to me when we did that, and I didn't have a problem with it, but then
Not
it
yet.
definitely grew on me, and I was like, all right, this is just too much. I
I
mean,
grow in
how many guys can you fit on screen at once, and how, it just takes a minute to get through one,
We talking about
Screen
hard
here.
mode?
Yeah.
Yeah.
the harder difficulty.
I think I'm looking forward to going through that after I finish the normal setting playthrough I have going. Definitely looking forward to getting into the harder settings. I'm on Act 5 right now, which is the currently the most up-to-date act. I'm sure pretty soon, hopefully, we'll be getting a new act.
That would be awesome, man. I'm over here, man.
What
Yeah,
do
I
you think,
You were
Retro?
holding us up.
No, I'm player 3.
Retro Brett, do you foresee them adding a new act?
I foresee them adding a couple new expansions.
Need more time.
I hope they add a new character in each expansion. My theory is the level cap right now is level 70. It was level 60 in the original game. Then heal yourself, Justin.
No.
Okay. Then they added 10 more levels with the expansion. What I think they might do is add 10 levels per expansion. So if that were the case, we're looking at 3 more expansions, which may or may not happen. I'm not sure, but
well, knowing Blizzard, let's hope that it's sooner rather than later. They have a lot on their plate. Obviously, World of Warcraft is still pretty big, and you know they're always adding DLCs for that. So
let's go this way.
What's up with this trippy text over here on the left?
Yeah, that's what I was commenting on earlier. I mean, I think it's glitching or something.
I haven't seen that. Is that only with 4 players on the screen, or have you seen that with less?
I think I have noticed that with the Demon Hunter. Maybe it's just the respawn rate of the mana or the hatred.
Oh, that's
as
not
he
what I'm
calls
talking about, man. There's like a text that's just
it's
telling
just
you
flashing.
stuff. It's actually
Yeah, but it's saying you don't have enough hatred.
Oh, I
I
see.
know, but
Okay,
it was
I
flashing.
wasn't even reading what it was saying. Then.
Yeah.
It was like tripping out.
Oh, that's awesome. Okay.
But it is interesting. I don't know.
So maybe it's to get your attention.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's interesting how all these characters have a different mana respawn rate.
Yeah.
I actually been wanting to ask you guys here on the playthrough, the big difference between all these characters and their respawn rate, is that something that they did in the other Diablo characters as well? For Diablo 2 and Diablo 1, it would depend on their style of special, depending on the character? Retro Brett?
I don't believe so. I think you had to acquire items to have mana recovery rate. I don't think it just naturally did it. Or you could, or in the case of Diablo 2, especially with the wizard, she had skills that increased the mana recovery rate. Because with her, mana was like
pretty important. I can
life
imagine.
to her.
Yeah.
It was what she used.
Yeah. Oh, there it is. Now it's tripping out over the adventuring heavy boots that you had picked up there, Justino. Oh, well, guess it's just going to strobe light it every time you pick up something.
I take it.
Uh-oh, we have the Spiderling.
Evil Eye, the unforgiving.
Not yet.
Watch out, Baron Semity. Where are you? I'm trying to... Okay, there you are. Looks like you're using some sort of demonic power. Do you know exactly what that is doing, Mike?
Not 100%, no.
I think it's probably just slowing everybody
That's
down.
what it seems as if it's doing.
Which is really... It's actually very useful in single player. I don't think slowing down people is going to be entirely useful. The wizard has a really good slowdown technique where he creates this huge bubble. And eventually, not only will that bubble slow down the enemies, it'll also have them take more damage. Really useful, but I haven't found it as useful with the other characters so far. Okay, Retro Brett, you're leading the way. Do you know which way you're going?
I'm just exploring right now. I always like to stick to the edges, especially when we're trying to find another location, because that's always going to be on the edge.
Yeah, that's true. I remember when you and I, Brett, would play Diablo 2 online, and we would kind of work from the outside
I used to
in.
be one of them.
Obviously, to find the next stairwell to the next part of the dungeon, but
then I knew
you know, it's just you can kind of find your way around the map easier that way.
My
Yeah, I
mistress,
think
and
it
the
was
dark
only in
power
Diablo 1
created
that
her.
the entrance to the next
I've
level
chosen.
occurred in the middle sometimes, not necessarily on the edge. I think this is the way, gentlemen.
Ooh, looks like we have an ominous stairwell.
My
Where is
mistress
it
is
leading
accepted.
to?
Oh, yes, we got the crazy
Come
hermit.
close and feel her loving embrace.
Let's stomp on his head.
Oh, transformation there. And we are surrounded by spiders.
Not ready
Oh,
yet.
this area also reminds me of Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets.
Yes, I know exactly what you're talking about. It's one of the movies of the Harry Potter series that I did manage to watch. Definitely have to catch up on some of them.
Yeah, the other 12 I haven't seen yet, but
I think that's a wasted part of the movie. It's kind of stupid. I always skip that chapter in the book too.
Nice.
how could you?
Chamber of the
Because I already
Queen.
know what it says.
Alright, the Chamber of the Queen.
Speaking of Harry Potter,
Help me. It's horrible. She sucks
Hold
the
that thought.
innards from her victims.
Oh boy.
oh, we got someone trapped in here.
No,
Maybe
too
it's
late.
Frodo Baggins?
I hear her. The Spider Queen is coming.
Also reminds me of one of the first missions in Skyrim.
Yeah.
When you go to Bleak Falls Barrow.
Needs
Also
more
have to
time.
deal with someone caught in a web from a queen spider. Here we have the queen, I'm going to guess Arene. It's a weird word. Pretty powerful here, considering there's 4 of us. She's taking quite the beating. I remember this boss. She kind of escapes and sends her minions to attack you, and then we'll come back and we'll have
Not
to
yet.
clobber her some more. Now, Retro Brett, of course, you've played all of the characters. It's been well documented here in the playthrough so far. What do you prefer? Do you prefer being up close and personal with the melee style attackers, such as the one you're using now, the Crusader? Or do you prefer to keep your distance like Justin's character, the Demon Hunter, as well as the Wizard, and I'm sure others have some pretty good projectile weapons as well?
Well, I'd say a little of both. My Demon Hunter on my
Not ready
my
yet.
file on the PC is my biggest ass kicker I have. She's doing 370k damage, which is a lot for this game.
Yeah.
Definitely good from afar character, that's for sure.
But I would say the Barbarian, Barbarian is really, really tough. The hand-to-hand combatants, not so much the monk, but most of them, they're really, really tough. Even though they might not be the most exciting to play or the most flashy. But anyways, getting back to what I was saying on Harry
Needs
Potter,
more time.
we're going to do a Harry Potter quiz here sometime in the near future, so be sure to pay attention for that.
Yes,
Can't hang here like this
Retro
alone.
Brett is the
I'll go
resident
mad.
Harry Potter aficionado around here, so we will be giving him the Harry Potter challenge, so definitely look out for that for you guys who are Harry Potter fans. One of the most iconic, books and, of course,
Recent
movies
memory, yeah.
of, the past years here. Now, I gotta say, this part of the game is pretty cool. We're pretty much getting to the finale of Act 1.
Gotta
It
talk
is
to her.
terrible being stuck in there like that.
Who do we have
Thank
here?
the gods you came
Karina.
along. What are you doing out here?
I seek a
I think this is
man
the
taken
first
by
time.
the
No,
covenant.
it's not. But
The
it's
coven. I saw
First
you
time we go
taking
outside
someone
during
to the
daytime.
Lord's manor house.
The Goatman.
It was the man you
Now, in the last episode, I actually died with the monk. I haven't played too much with him, and I feel like I'm really perfecting his skill set here. And once that's really the bottom line with a lot of these characters. You have to perfect the skill set,
You know how
get
to-
that
gotta know how to
variety.
use 'em.
Yeah, get the variety of moves that really work well
Alright, she's done
together.
talking, so.
Do we have to head back to New Tristram? No, apparently we're heading to.
Find the Khazra staff.
Let's head. Oh, you here. Hold on. You. I was gonna teleport us to. Actually, I guess we're pretty close anyways. We might as well just walk right over.
So Brett, going back to Diablo 2 here, doesn't this remind you of when you kind of get on the top of Mount Iriat and you're in the highlands going towards
Yeah,
the cave?
the very first area of Mount Arreat. Yes. Very, very astute of you, Justin.
Cool throwback to that. Good job, Blizzard.
Ooh, moth creatures here.
Fuck you, Moth.
Mothra.
The moth.
Moth.
Fuck you, Mothra.
If only it were that easy.
Ooh, we have the goat man over here.
I gotta change up my skill here sometimes.
All right, well, we'll whoop some ass here. We'll clean out these. Looks like we have Goatmen and Woolly Mammoth, and we'll pause it here. We'll be able to switch up our skill set.
There is one skill that the Crusader has that kind of, when you use it, he rushes he rushes to the enemy to attack him.
Not
All
ready
right,
yet.
well, go ahead and
Kind of like a charge.
now that we've killed the tree, go ahead and select up and switch it up. Show the viewers what's going on with the Crusader's special abilities.
All right.
Let's see what you got going on here. I know this is a little bit different than the PC version of Diablo 3, so those of you who are used to the PC version haven't really seen too much of the console version. This might not look too familiar, but it's pretty simplistic. Really not a whole lot to explain,
Yeah.
especially if you've played a game like Skyrim and many other RPGs that have this kind of feel. Definitely very similar.
Actually, I think it was Shield Bash is the one I'm talking about. We'll find out here.
Yeah, that move is very good.
Much like the Smiter Paladin class from Diablo 2, which
Yes.
was probably the most effective class to choose as far as fighting the Ubers.
Oh, no,
Yeah.
I didn't think the hammer one did Ubers.
No, I'm talking about the Smiter.
Oh, the Smiter,
Yeah,
yeah.
the Smiters up against the Ubers. I read and talked to many people online, and they said that was the best way to defeat the Uber bosses.
Nice.
Which I'm hoping somewhere along the line, Diablo 3 will introduce the secret bosses. It's basically fighting Diablo and some of the other major bosses, but they're like on steroids. They're basically impossible to beat unless your character is
Yes.
maxed out. So
And you cannot beat them with all character builds, no matter how badass your character is.
yeah.
You gotta have certain deals. It's over here, gentlemen.
Let me grab this weapon rack here. Perhaps we get lucky and actually get something good for once.
Oh, this is the staff.
Nice. More Goatmen. Wish I could do
Not
a
ready
good
yet.
Jim Brewer impression here, but unfortunately I'm not even going to attempt that.
Well, the good thing about the Goatmen is they come in droves,
Need more time.
so you can get a lot of EXP
Yeah.
pretty fast.
One thing I've noticed is that, of course, single player, it's a lot easier to get. Oh fuck! It's a lot easier to get a
the hell
kill
am I?
streak.
Oh, I'm over here doing.
Remember, the right click will show you where you are if you get lost.
Yeah, you were saying the kill streaks really jack up your XP.
A lot easier to do in single player, so it's going to be more difficult here. Someone does have a kill streak right now. It doesn't really tell
Probably
you
me.
who it is. I'm just bashing the hell out of the tree creature, so it wasn't me.
All right, we gotta follow the arrow.
I just leveled up. I made it to level 15.
Nice.
Justin, you are already well into level 15, so you should be reaching 16 here pretty soon. Hopefully you can do that in this episode. That'd be pretty cool.
Yeah.
And Mike, you have been boosted. You started off at level 5. You're already at level 10, and you have not died at all. So I commend you, sir. Well done. It looks like you're doing a good job here with the Witch Doctor.
The two
Witch
people that
Doctor is
haven't
solid.
died are sitting on this couch.
Not ready yet.
Yes.
I hate to brag, but
Don't be boastful, Brett.
no one likes that.
Well, you also have the best character there, Brett.
Yeah, you certainly have the strongest character. Your strength was like 120. Your vitality was way up there.
Needs more time.
So, it looks like some of these characters, they kind of focus the stat points, even though you can't select where they're going when you level up. Like the monk, Mike's Witch Doctor was really low on strength and dexterity, but it was really high on intelligence and vitality. So I think it proportions itself out pretty well.
Oh, yeah, well,
pertaining to the character's skill.
Surprisingly, it does, because remember I was talking about my badass demon hunter?
Yeah.
For as much badass as she is, I'm on Paragon level 38 and a level 70 regular character. Her strength is only 77.
Wow.
Yeah, which I thought was really really low.
And really, if your character's not a melee artist per se,
Yeah.
strength is really only required to equip certain armors and weaponry.
Well, that's the one thing I liked about Diablo 2.
Exactly. Diablo 3 not so much strong on that, but pretty much every other RPG game, you're kind of like, all right, I got to have X amount of strength or X amount of dexterity to be able to even equip this sword or armor.
It has attribute requirements.
Right.
Like, as well as it should be, I mean, because some weapons are bigger than others and require more strength and various attributes to use them. Like, I mean, better bows, the more damaged bows, it takes a lot to pull that bowstring back. A lot of strength, you know?
Theoretically, yes.
You ever shot a bow?
We have another Ent. I have a compound bow myself.
Yeah.
It is a little small on me now. I've owned it for a good 10, 15 years, but hell of a lot of fun.
I used to live out in Albuquerque and city nearby Los Lunas, New Mexico. Not a ton to do there, so we would hit the archery up nearly every day.
Lots of desert.
I'll tell you this: the gym and like going to the range are the best, most efficient ways to let off some stress.
Yeah.
And as is playing some Diablo 3.
I've got it
For sure, man.
I've got to get back to range. It's been a long time since I've shot something.
So what do you think about these Ents here? Obviously, they're not friendly. Well, they're not Ents, of course. Ents are from Lord of the Rings, but I really like the design on them. Unfortunately, they kind of kick your ass at first.
Yeah, they're poisonous.
Yeah, and they're poisonous, so watch out for that.
Yeah, I love the enemy design in this game. I
Yeah.
think that's one thing that really stands out, which is important because, as we kind of touched on, it's a little bit more simplistic than the other Diablos as far as the RPG components. So, thankfully, they did take advantage of the graphics and the character design to make up for some of those, lost
Follow
things
me,
there.
follow me.
One thing we were worried about before this game came out was we weren't really a huge fan of the World of Warcraft designs there here, Trippy Commentaries, especially when it comes to the Diablo universe. And there was a lot of speculation that it was going to go with a straight World of Warcraft style graphics. And not the case at all. Definitely looks a little bit different. Some of the colors are a little similar, but I really feel like it does have that gritty appearance that I saw out of Diablo 2 and a little bit out of Diablo 1 for as much as they could pull it off way back then.
Yeah, it was pretty shoddy at times on Diablo 1.
Yeah.
But Diablo 3 does a great job again of bringing back the old bad guys you remember so well from the other games and introducing some new ones.
Yeah, definitely a lot of fan service, which is well appreciated for a game that takes so long to actually get out a new sequel.
Yeah, I mentioned a skill that kind of teleports you in, for lack of a better term. And I picked the right skill, but I have yet to show it off. So I will do it as soon as I can, and I will let you know when I do it.
Yeah, actually, I think the monk has a similar skill. It kind of draws you to the bad guy as you're fighting him, I believe.
Yeah, I saw you use that a couple times, or maybe someone else who was using a monk.
Yeah, I think it was on our dual playthrough.
Yeah, with we have another monk named Little Jimmy that's a little bit further along, and I noticed some of those. I haven't really explored the special abilities of the monk too much. Now, the current moves that I have right now seems to be doing pretty well for me. Definitely liking this right now. But I'll definitely have to check it out, see if I can improve the character. Someone.
Player 2, hit left button.
And if anyone gets the Little Jimmy reference, make sure you leave us a comment and tell us what it is.
Well, there's two possible references. We'll leave it up to the Trippy subscribers to figure it out.
Definitely an old school reference of
No.
not a lot of people are going to get it these days. It's been quite a while since old R-Truth was actually doing something.
Oh.
You gave it away. I was thinking, of course, Jimmy Graham, tight end for the New Orleans Saints.
Well, that's a nickname. We branded him because of R-Truth.
Of course,
in
and
honor
I've
of
actually
R-Truth.
heard that on television. So once I heard that, I was like, we're on something good here.
Nice.
Why'd you go and do that for, RJ?
Because he ain't little.
Hey, half the people don't even know who R-Truth is. In fact, many people. Let's go. Someone's all caught up
Witch
back there.
doctor, what are you doing? Stop your voodoo.
Witch doctor's
Pay
stuck on the
attention.
fence back there.
Party snoozing here.
But even current wrestling fans might not even know who R-Truth is nowadays.
Yeah, it sounds like he's been out of the storyline loop for a while.
Actually, I think they tried to bring him back in for a little bit there.
So the
Yeah.
fans just don't want him.
Temporarily.
Well, apparently he's pretty old. He's a lot older than I thought he was, actually.
He was a main event player for a little bit there.
Actually, the main event players were a group. I don't know which promotion, but they were a group somewhere. I think maybe in TNA, but no one watches TNA because it's
Hey.
All right, and
Well, no, not that TNA, but the wrestling kind of TNA.
now where to? I
Actually,
suppose
we
we're doing
have
more
to-
Not
exploring.
ready yet.
We have to go down, I think.
All right.
Maybe not. Hold on. No, we have to go up the way we were going.
Completely crushing this tree.
Getting poisoned.
Yet another Lord of the Rings-esque enemy in this game.
We have
There's
to
a
go
lot of
down.
them. Follow the Crusader. A foe with killing. Usually when they say that, that means there's a tough guy around. There he is. One thing I kind of can gripe on this game about a little bit here, Retro, is I don't like how all of the rare enemies are just shining gold. You know, I mean,
It's kind of always been that way. You know, that's a Diablo tradition.
Oh, there it is.
I understand.
There, I just did it.
Yeah. But I feel like in Diablo 3, there's a lot more of them. They were pretty hard to find at times, especially in Diablo 1 and 2. But Diablo 3, it's like every other area you're in, there's a special bad guy to kill, and you know, it just makes it more enjoyable to play because you're like, ooh, what am I gonna get in this drop?
yeah, normally they drop some pretty good stuff.
Yeah.
All right, guys, we're going to have to find our way through this area. This is a huge maze, and that's one of my favorite things about Diablo 3. As a kid, I was a huge fan of mazes, and this is like a maze on a grand scale.
Heal thyself, Justin.
Yeah, he can recharge. You just got to sit back, but thank you guys for joining us for this episode. As I magically teleport, make sure to stay tuned for the next episode of Let's Play Diablo 3 Ultimate Evil Edition. Stay trippy.